What's up YouTube, Annie here. In today's video, I'm gonna tell you how I made one mistake in my Qatar Airways booking that cost me hundreds of dollars and weeks to fix. Please learn from me. Don't do this. I really love Qatar Airways, especially their business class. It's called the Q Suite. It's a fabulous experience product. I had the chance to take it when I flew to Kenya last year. And on this flight that I'm taking this year home from the Maldives, I decided, okay, if I'm gonna splurge, well, I mean, I'm going to the Maldives, so I'm kind of already splurging. But if I'm going to really do this in a way that just blows this vacation out of the water, I wanna come home on a Qatar Airways business class Q Suite. So I set my Google Flight Alert. I watched Google Flights for weeks, just waiting for the right time to pull my trigger. And I ended up booking my flight through Doha onto LAX for, I think it was like $3,300. So it's not exactly a cheap experience, although I will say for a business class flight, that's a really, really good deal. So $3,300, booked my flight, and I thought, okay, great. That's all settled. Now for that trip, I'm not flying directly to the Maldives. I'm actually stopping in a couple of destinations on the way. So I'm booking each leg of the trip separately. So a couple of weeks later, I finish all of my plane bookings and I go back and I'm reviewing my itinerary. And I noticed that the name on that original flight home to LAX is Annie, which is not the name that's on my passport. True story, my legal name is Rhiannon. I'm named after the Fleetwood Mac song, but everyone calls me Annie. However, the name on my passport is Rhiannon. So I need all of my travel documents to match my passport, or I'm not gonna be able to get on the flight and get back into the country. A little bit of an issue. Now, I know when I put that original info in, I had put Rhiannon. I book a lot of flights and I always put Rhiannon in the first name. I vividly remember doing it. So what happened where the name changed to Annie? Well, stick around because at the end of this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly how this happened so that you don't make the same mistake. Generally, you know, this isn't a super difficult thing to fix. You explain the situation to the ticketing agent and they go in and they update the ticket. I don't do it often, but I have done it before and it's never been a huge problem. It turned out to be a huge problem. So the first thing I did was go on Qatar's website and I found a request that said change name. So I went in there, I filled that form out, I pressed submit, and it said, sorry, sorry, not working, try again later. Okay, so I pull up the chat function, and in the chat function, I explain the situation, and the guy's like, oh, you go to this online form and submit it. And I was like, tried that, didn't work. And the guy's like, got you, go to Google Chrome. Use Google Chrome, clear your cache, whatever, which I don't even know how to do. Go to Google Chrome, try it there. So I go to Google Chrome, sure enough, works fine, put in my request, boom. I'm like, okay, problem solved. 4 hours later, I get an email. Sorry, we cannot complete your request. The request is for a total name change. We are only able to update 3 letters of a name. Well, changing Annie to Rhiannon is a lot more than 3 letters. So I knew that I was gonna have to call, which is like my nightmare. I hate calling people. So I waited till I had some time and some mental space and mental energy, made the phone call, got on with a customer service agent. And I will say, points to Qatar Airways because I didn't have to wait at all. They had a customer service agent who picked up the phone almost immediately. So good job. So this woman, we chatted for, I don't know, 10 minutes trying to figure out the issue. Finally, she understood what I was asking. She thought, oh, is it a legal issue? Is it the last name? And I was like, no, it's just, I need it. It says this, it says A-N-N-I-E. I need it to say R-H-I-A-N-N-O-N. She's like, okay, let me talk to my supervisor and see. So she goes off for a little while. She comes back and she's like, ma'am, I'm so sorry. We can't change the name on the ticket after it's been issued. Well, that's a problem because, you know, $3,300 is sitting here. What do I do? And she said, well, you have to go and cancel the ticket. She said, that's the only way we can do it. You can cancel the ticket, refund it to your card, and then go in and rebook the ticket. Let's do that. Go ahead. She said, okay. And she goes, it's $110 to cancel it. Cool. So at this point, I'm like, look, it's an expensive mistake to learn. I can't get super mad. I can't get super mad at them. Like, it happened. and it's got to get fixed. So if it's going to cost $100 to fix it, then we just got to eat the $100 and go for it. So I told her, okay, let's go ahead and cancel. I get off the phone with this woman, I go in and I start to rebook my ticket, this time with the correct name. And I noticed that I didn't have an email yet saying that my flight had been canceled. So I decided to go check on it. I pulled up the flight booking information, and sure enough, the flight was still sitting there. So I guess she hadn't pulled the trigger or like pushed the button to cancel it. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go in, I'll cancel it myself and control it. So as I went in to cancel it, I noticed there was an option that you could request the money in the form of a travel voucher. And if you requested the money in the form of a travel voucher, then it waived the $110 fee, and they would give you 10% more in funds towards your next trip. And I was like, well, score, like I'm gonna end up making money on this. It's gonna cover the difference in my new ticket, because of course now tickets are $100 more than they were at the time that I booked. So I figured, cool, it's gonna cover the cost of my new ticket. I won't have to pay that cancellation fee. Like, we're all good. It was not all good. So I get the email with the travel voucher. I go in to book the new ticket, make sure it's the right name again. And I get to the end of the payment and I put in my travel voucher number and it says, we're sorry, cannot apply this travel voucher to this reservation. The name doesn't match. Like, oh, for crying out loud. Like, what do you, the name doesn't match because the name was wrong. The name was wrong to begin with. Like, let's pretend Annie doesn't exist. Let's just say she's not a person. Like, this should have been Rhiannon the whole entire time. Nope, now I'm stuck with a travel voucher that says Annie. So I'm like, okay, off to the chat function again. That chat function is great, I gotta say. So I go back to the chat function, I explained the situation to the guy and I was like, can I change the name on the travel voucher? Like, I was like, it's an incorrect name. Can we update the name on the travel voucher? And he was like, please go to this place on our website and fill out this form. He's like, you send a complaint and then they'll email you at the email address that you provide. He said, make sure you use the same email address that you used when booking. Okay, so I go in, I fill out the complaint form, explain the situation. Bob's drunkle goes away. 2 days later, 3 days later, I get an email and they're like, please call us to discuss this situation, because I love calling people. So again, I get some coffee in me, I gather my inner strength, and I call customer service again. Explain the situation. This time, thankfully, the guy was able to pull it up really quickly. He knew exactly what I was talking about. And he goes, okay, I see what happened. He said, you applied the funds to a travel voucher. And he said, yeah, I'm so sorry, that won't work. You have to have the funds refunded to your card and then rebook from there. Fine. At this point, like, fine, whatever it takes. I just want to make sure I have a flight home. And then the guy goes, so the only problem is refunds are taking anywhere between 20 and 30 days to process right now. And I'm like, so I need to book my new flight then, you're telling me? He's like, yeah, you need to book your new flight because my trip is only like 6 weeks away now. So yeah, I got to book the flight. I can't wait for the refund to come through before I go ahead and put the money down on a new ticket. So I was like, fine. Okay. I said, okay, how do I get the travel voucher refunded? And he said, again, go back on the website. They're big on the website. They really want you to use this website. So he's like, go back on the website. He said the same place where you requested the refund, you can request there. I said, okay. So I go back. I'm like, I'm gonna put in for my ticket. Like, let's just get that solved. Go put the ticket in. So I go in, I book my new ticket. I checked like 5 times. I sent screenshots to friends. I was like, y'all are my witnesses. This ticket says Rhiannon. Not Annie, Rhiannon. So I made sure that was all good. Then I go to process the refund and I'm trying to get through the form and I tried putting in the e-ticket number, the booking reference, and the travel voucher, and it wouldn't take any of them. It was like, sorry, try again later. I tried Google Chrome too. Sorry, try again later. So back to the handy chat again. This time I had a lovely agent named Rose. And Rose initially said, well, you need to go fill out this form on the website. And I was like, Rose, I tried that. Trust me, I've been here. I know this website. We've spent a lot of time together. Rose, it doesn't work. Rose is like, I'm so sorry to hear that. I was like, me too, Rose. Me too. So Rose goes off and she's like, allow me a minute to go check. Cool, you do you, Rose. I got nothing. I am here to get my $3,300 back. So Rose goes away for like 5 minutes, which is a long time on an online chat. She comes back, she's like, I'm sorry, I still need another minute. I'm like, Rose, I'm with you. Like, get this done for me, friend. Finally, Rose comes back and she's like, I have finally confirmed your refund for your travel voucher. Rose! Rose for the win! I was like, I'll get an email confirmation, right? And she's like, yes, you will receive an email confirmation, which I did get the next day. But that's how long it took and how much work it took to get my refund. And the refunded amount of the travel voucher was about $200 less than the price of my new ticket. So it did cost me a penalty and there was a new flight exchange. So I ended up paying a little over $200 more because of this one mistake. Okay, so now that it's fixed, how did it happen in the first place? Because I swear, I put Rhiannon in. So when I did the original booking, I put Rhiannon in, I put my passport number in, I put my date of birth in, I very carefully checked all of that information. And then when I got down to the next section of the form, it asked me to input my Privilege Club information, which is Qatar's frequent flyer program. So when I put in my Privilege Club information, I didn't realize that the name on my Privilege Club is Annie, not Rhiannon. And the Privilege Club number overwrote the profile of the ticket. So it changed the information on the ticket to Annie instead of Rhiannon, which I had put in. Yeah. So it was partially a human error and partially a system error. Note to self, your Privilege Club information should be the same first name as whatever first name is on your passport. You have to make sure those things match, or the Privilege Club information will override that ticket name unless you go up and choose a different profile. This was a painful lesson to learn, my friends. $200 and a good week and a half of work to get it fixed. But now I'm settled, I have my new ticket home from the Maldives, and I cannot wait to enjoy that Q Suite once again. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it doesn't scare you away from trying Qatar Airways because it's really a lovely experience if you travel a lot and travel anywhere through the Middle East. And if you found this video helpful or at least entertaining, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out with the channel. Until next time, go create a life you love.